You want success. You want wealth. You want power. You want to become untouchable. Yet you're still reacting like everyone else, driven by emotion. And that is exactly why you will never have what you think you deserve. Your feelings are chains. Your empathy is leverage, but not in your hands. Your sensitivity is the open wound others are already exploiting. If you claim you're ready to hear the truth that your heart is your greatest liability, stay till the end. Most won't. The moment this stops soothing their insecurity and starts exposing their weakness, the weak eject. The self-improvement world has fed you comforting lies. They tell you to follow your passion, as if passion isn't just emotion wearing a heroic mask. They tell you to trust your gut, forgetting that your gut is simply fear accumulated over years of failure. They tell you to lead with your heart, ignoring the fact that the heart specializes in irrational decisions disguised as love. The entire motivational industry profits from validating your emotions while keeping you stagnant because validation feels like progress. But it isn't. It's anesthesia while your potential bleeds out. Real power demands the absolute reversal of everything you've been indoctrinated to believe. It demands that you strip emotion out of strategy, that you stop perceiving people as sacred beings and start seeing them as variables, assets, and occasionally obstacles. It demands understanding that compassion slows you down, loyalty exposes you, and kindness signals you can be used. These aren't pessimistic conclusions. They are observations proven in every hierarchy humanity has ever built. If this offends you, good. That means your identity is welded to weakness. I've studied the people who actually dominate, not the ones filming morning routines or reposting quotes to appear disciplined. The real elite, the ones who move silently while others talk. And they have one consistent trait: emotional detachment. They choose outcome over comfort. They terminate relationships the moment they become liabilities. They sacrifice public approval without hesitation. They protect the self above all because loyalty to others is betrayal to one's own ascension. You insist you'd never behave like that because you believe you're a good person. But morality is the story you tell yourself to excuse your lack of results. There is no nobility in failure. There is only fear. Fear of confrontation. Fear of dominance. Fear of power. You call it ethics. You call it integrity. But strip the language and all that remains is a person too afraid to evolve. If you're still here, like this video, half of them already fled. They couldn't handle the mirror. The emotions you worship as strengths are actually the control mechanisms used against you. Guilt, merely the phantom voice of people who never wanted to see you rise. Shame, a manufactured rulebook created to keep you obedient. Empathy, the quickest way to allow others inside your defenses where they can steer your behavior with a single trigger. The moment someone knows what hurts you, they own you. And most of you hand out instructions for your own destruction without being asked. Those who rise above the crowd don't go to therapy to talk about emotions, they train themselves to silence them when strategy demands it. Every time they choose logic over comfort, the emotional instinct decays. Every time they betray expectation for personal advancement without remorse, another chain snaps. Every time they prioritize optimal decisions over popular ones, their independence from approval sharpens. They don't rise because they are smarter or luckier. They rise because they amputate the weaknesses others romanticize. They stop seeking understanding and start demanding respect. They stop hoping for fairness and start exploiting reality. And while the masses drown in their own emotional noise, they operate with surgical calm. The world becomes clearer once you detach from the need to be comforted. You stop asking, why don't they support me? And start asking, why do I need them at all? Independence isn't built by hugs and reassurance. It's forged in the moments you choose yourself, when everyone insists you shouldn't. You're not denied greatness. You're delaying it every time you let guilt rewrite your decisions. If you ever want to know who you could become, remove everything that keeps you soft. Motivational figures won't admit this. It's not marketable. People want the fantasy that they can become powerful while staying comfortable. Gentle yet feared. Loved yet dominant. But that contradiction is precisely why most remain average. The select few who ascend make a pact. Their growth matters more than their comfort. And they pay the cost. The cost is isolation, not physical, psychological. Knowing you can never fully connect with anyone because closeness invites leverage. Knowing that vulnerability is an invitation for betrayal. Knowing every interaction is an unspoken negotiation of influence. knowing that everyone around you is playing a smaller game and that gap will never close. Comment, I see everything, I say nothing. If you truly accept that the climb requires discarding the sentimental illusions that keep you emotional and therefore breakable, you were trained to believe emotions make you strong. That vulnerability is courage, that sharing your feelings is authentic. These are lullabies for the powerless. Emotions make you a puppet, predictable, controllable, exposed. If I know who you love, I know who to ruin. If I know what you fear, I know how to paralyze you. The powerful don't hand out the manual to their defeat. You think this sounds inhuman. You think it sounds like a rejection of everything that makes life worth living. But you're wrong. Life is worth living precisely because you can be free from emotion. Freed from the constant interference of feeling in your decision-making. Freed from the vulnerability of caring about people who will inevitably disappoint you. Freed from the paralysis of guilt and shame and empathy. The people you envy, the ones who seem to move through life untouched by the chaos that destroys everyone else, they're not happier than you, but they're freer than you. And freedom is more valuable than happiness. The people you admire, the ones you pretend you want to become, have already severed their ties to emotional obedience. They don't feel guilt when they advance at someone else's expense. They don't collapse when insulted. They don't break when threatened. They understood that conscience is often the voice of those who want you compliant. They operate from that clarity while you cling to fantasies of goodness. Share this video if you've ever suspected that being liked and being powerful rarely coexist, and that the upper tiers of society were built by those willing to evolve beyond sentimental morality. Your emotions are noise. They're the static that prevents you from hearing the signal. They're the interference that keeps you from thinking clearly. They're the weight that slows you down when you need to move fast. Every moment you're feeling, you're not calculating. Every moment you're empathizing, you're not strategizing. Every moment you're hesitating out of guilt, someone else is moving forward without any moral friction at all, and then you wonder why they're ahead of you. Every arena of power demands the same principle: emotional discipline, the ability to make the correct move even when the correct move is cruel, the resilience to weaponize information rather than fear it, the capability to harm strategically and never apologize for doing what was necessary. Call them flaws if you want. Meanwhile, those flaws build empires while your virtues build excuses. The individuals who truly escape mediocrity, the ones with influence, money, autonomy, all share one truth. Emotion is a luxury paid for only after the throne is secured. Detachment is not a trait, it is a prerequisite. And the price of control is simple. You must let the part of you that needs comfort die. The only question that remains is, do you want to rise, or do you want to feel?